Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we are going to be working on my September budget. It is currently August 29th. I have not yet received my second paycheck for August, but I'm trying to be a bit more proactive. So, this time around, we're going to be starting a little bit early, and I think I'm going to try and keep this up for the rest of the year, see how it feels, and then this way throughout the next year we can keep doing the same thing. So right now I'm just here in my Notion and I'm kind of on my home page. We're gonna go into the budgeting. So I'm just gonna pull this into frame. And this is going to be our September budget. So I'm going to be working off of the amount of 2070 times 2 because I do get paid twice a month. So we're going to start with that. And so first and foremost, I'm going to just mark down all my essentials. This is going to be a super basic budget just so I know exactly what I'm working with. And then I'm going to kind of, try and put it into something that's a little bit more aesthetic for myself. But for right now, I just want to do a very basic budget so that I have it done and so that, this video doesn't end up super long. But yeah, so here we have my rent, phone bill, my electricity bill. Where I live does not have gas, so electricity is all I'm gonna write down. So I have my rent, my phone bill, electricity. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. Internet. Honestly, I don't have like too many expenses, which is really good for me because it allows me to save a ton. But yeah, then I have a Dell bill that I have to pay down. I'm also going to include my Amex. I haven't been spending quite as much on her as I have been in the past, which is really good. But I've been spending more on my Chase, primarily because I am trying to hit like whatever number it is that I have so that I can get like the bonus points for the year. So that's why I've been spending more on that. But yeah, so I have my rent, my phone bill, electricity, internet, Dell Amex card, Chase. Oh, and my student loans. So my rent for September, after checking my statement, is 1788.82. It's usually around 1800, so I kind of just will like say that it's 1800, split that in half, and pull and save that 900 from each paycheck that I receive is typically how I do it, or it's how I used to do it, just like to start off my budget. And then once I got the email showing like how much my rent was actually going to be, I would then go in and tweak my budget so that I could account for that extra money, or rather not extra money, but so that I could account for the money which no longer had an allotment. But now, since I'm starting it kind of late, I guess, ish, because it is the 29th and September is literally in like 2 days. We have like 30th and 31st. So because of that, I am just going to go straight in and write that number out because I have it. So 1788.82. My phone bill is 115.08 at the moment. I think it should be like a 112. So I'm going to like message them and figure that out because I do think it's supposed to be slightly cheaper. And yes, it's only $3, but $3 times 12 is like what, 48? So, I mean, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things. Sorry, why did I say 48? 36. But yeah, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things, but that's a couple meals, So, electricity, I'm not too sure what my electricity bill is going to look like. I'm just going to write down 45 because I don't think it's going to be more than that. Maybe I'll just say 50 and budget high. I don't think it's going to be more than that. My internet bill is $35. because I am still in like the promotional period, and then because I do direct deposit, I got like an extra $10 off. My Dell is going to be $58.36 because I have $233.44 left to pay off of that because I recently bought a monitor. And because I have like DFS or Dell Financial Services Preferred, whatever that thing is, because I have that, I was able to, or it gave me rather 6 months to pay it off without incurring interest. So I kind of just somewhat taking my time with it, but I do want to, have it paid off by the end of October. So I just basically took that amount of $233.44, split it by 4, and then got $58.36. So that's how much I'm going to be paying each paycheck. So it'll take me just 2 months flat. In reality, that's not even true. It'll be my August paycheck this is coming from, and then 2 in September and 1 in October. So I'll actually be done halfway through October with this Dell. My Amex, I think I'm just going to say like $300 for this. My Chase and my student loans we're going to put at the end. And so right now, as you can see, I kind of just wrote the numbers out because these are the ones like, these have to get paid pretty much. Like my rent needs to be paid, phone bill needs to be paid, electricity needs to be paid, internet needs to be paid. These things have to be paid. And then this is kind of optional, right? I mean, it's not really optional, right? I should pay it, but in theory, like, if I don't pay it, it's not going to impact my life. That's really what I mean by saying it's optional. But that just means like it's secondary to the rest of them. So like the amount that I pay towards this can be higher, it can be lower, but it doesn't really matter so long as I'm just giving something. But yeah, so for that 2070, we are going to have $41.40 is what our budget is going to be for the month. We're working on a quick maths here, Yeah, $41.40. And then here I'm just going to do my total for the ones that are kind of like mandatory. Let me just add this up really quick on this calculator. So that is going to be $19.88.90, which leaves me with a balance of $21.51.11. So this is how much I have left over. After subtracting that $19.88.90, which is really good because it means that I have more than enough to go towards like everything else here. So I do know, actually I'm gonna add one more here because I know I have a couple of trips happening in September and hangouts with friends, and so I am gonna need to pay for like gas, which I'm just gonna guesstimate like $150 for gas. Because I'm kind of driving a distance, and usually I pay like $50 each way, but you never know, so I'm just going to add the extra 50 in there in case. So $150 for gas, and then let's say $250 for activities. I don't think I'm going to do too much. Actually, let me up this to 300 for activities, because then this is now combining the two different things I'm doing. I don't think I'm going to spend this much, but I do want to have it just in case. So I am going to pull this up here, not because it's more important than my Chase and my student loans, but because these have like definite numbers. So we're at 750, 808.36. So here we have a balance of 808.36. Sorry, yeah, we have a total of 808.36, which then will give us a balance of 1342.74. And at this point now I can kind of figure out what's going to happen here. And for my chase, I think I'm just going to put the 342.74 towards that. 342.74 towards the chase, and then 1,000 towards my student loans, because I really just, I am all of the mind of that, not having to pay student loans off, but the fact that we still have them, I kind of just want them off my back, because I'm the type of person who, if I owe a debt, I cannot live at ease, because when I get my money, I'm thinking, okay, like technically I still have to pay this thing, I feel like you just have to get rid of it, whether it's by someone else paying it off for you, which I would prefer, or if it's by paying it off for yourself. So I'm just going to do 1,000 towards my student loans, and then my chase is going to be 342.74. And this is how I think I'm going to have it set up for September. So in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed looking at this budget. It's super simple, super basic. Guys, I literally just realized that I did not even include groceries. This is kind of crazy. Usually I think in my head I was thinking about all this other stuff, but usually what I do is I will put my groceries on my Amex. I was just like, okay, this might not make sense, but let me backtrack a little bit. So usually my groceries go on my Amex. So the $300 that is allotted for my Amex right now is essentially groceries. I should probably clarify so it doesn't look like I'm just putting everything into like things that are not actually for me. But yes, so my Amex is my groceries. I do have a gym membership, but that is reimbursed by my job, so I'm not even gonna bother including it on here, because yes, I'm paying for it, but I'm gonna get the money back, so it just doesn't really make too much sense to like write it as though it's leaving me for good, because the money's not leaving me for good. And then I also do have savings. So right now, the amount that I'm budgeting with is the amount that gets deposited into my account, into my checking account. I do have a portion of my check going directly into my savings, so I pretty much don't even touch that. I don't think about it. Sometimes I'll look at my savings account because I just want to see like, what's she doing over there? But when I'm doing my budget, I actually don't bother looking at that or considering that amount at all, because in my head I'm not going to touch it anyway, so it doesn't make sense. So yeah, this is my budget. I don't pay for any subscriptions, so yeah, it's very cut and dry, very simple, but it's what works for me. And then obviously like what I tend to do is like go through and tweak it. It's like, for example, my rent is $1788.82, but this is not what's coming out per paycheck. And also like these will come out at different points in the month. Like my phone bill comes out earlier in the month, so it tends to actually get paid by the paycheck from the last month. So like this phone bill will actually be getting paid more than likely. Well, yeah, this phone bill will be actually getting paid by my second paycheck of August, but I still have to consider my phone bill in here because this amount is going to go towards my October phone bill, if that makes sense. And I'm sure it does. If it doesn't, feel free to ask questions down below. And yeah, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, I would love to read them, would love to hear them. And don't hesitate to put them down below, as well as any just general questions and stuff that you have about my budget, or what some of these things, might be. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I hope to see you in the next one. On that note, have a great rest of your day.